So where we left off was, I think the discussion was ranch on pizza. I mean, we were going out to sea, and as an underlying sauce, I don't know, but like when I say like chicken ranch, maybe not the sauce, but like,
That's
well,
that's the
maybe
most
dipping the
disgusting thing I've
crust.
ever heard.
It's a swell. Just a swell.
We
Have you had Sorry,
oh
real
oh
quick on pizza. Have you had buffalo chicken pizza?
yes.
That
I
sounds
hate
good.
buffalo sauce.
See, like I said, Copycat just hates life.
Game.
Mess.
I'm a tomato sauce based pepperoni kind of guy. Like Italian tomato sauce, so it's like extra heavy.
Oh yeah,
Get
like
behind
a nice
that.
like a rich marinara or something. That'd be good.
Yeah. We also do barbecue. Domino's over here also does cream fraiche and American cheese, like a queso sort base, because they do a Philly cheesesteak pizza.
Philly pizzas are good.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to remind everyone out there who's watching, talking about food is just as much a part of D&D as rolling dice. And talking about sort of like side, like regional differences and fun things that you've tried before.
Well, I mean, just before stream, Coffee and I were talking about soft drinks over here. What you guys call soda.
Yeah.
You know, that still weirds me out when somebody says soda.
I say soda. Everyone else on my mom's side of the family says pop.
Yeah.
And I found out it's because my dad used to live in New York, and they say soda in New York. So he says soda, so I say soda.
That's part of Canadian culture starting to influence.
Yeah, it's just crossing over the it's crossing over the lake or the falls there. Where we had left off, the party split, and we have a team going out into the ocean, and we have a team that is not. And so, after a dramatic, not really rescue, probably way more dramatic than a rescue, Kazimir and Selene were sauntering, if not skipping along, like two young lovers through a field of fresh spring flowers, through the waves, out to sea to investigate.
And Mordecai slowly turning green.
To investigate the sort of the dark mass that Kazimir had spotted from the tippity-toppity of the sand dune as the sun rises and morning is dawning on the lands here. And pardon me, with the I guess with that, because you made a very salient point, how dare you? Because I'm going to take a look at my own geography here. Sure enough, given that we're on the beach somewhere up here, the shadows would be coming from the other direction. And so to help represent that, I'll draw some little shadows while I'm describing what is going on, because it's nice and cathartic. Actually, really, this is 15 feet high, so like all of this back here is going to be shadowy. As you two get the hang of it, and you're taking your time getting through that that kind of like splash zone, where the waves are super crashing, and you get out to the waters that are that'll work. If there's a borderline for something. Oh, no, a little bit more here. Whatever. There we go. If it really matters, I'll make a snap decision. Select. Boop. You've made your way out. It's not necessarily calmer, but the waves aren't as fierce because there's a lot more depth underneath you. That, you know, the waves haven't like started to be pushed up by the land underneath to start cresting and tumbling on themselves. And it's still slow going because it's pitching, but you're not exactly in super danger of being, you know, balled over as the ground, quote unquote, underneath you is roiling and such. Continuing to walk, you're by the time my narrate... Whoop, apparently I just spun Kazimir here. Kazimir, you're drunk. Go home. All right, there we go. So you two are keeping close and walking here. The ocean, all sorts of beautiful colors, and you would technically be off the map from what I'm showing here, but at least you're in this direction for purposes of anyone on the beach who's looking out at you two. Walking out several hundred feet off the shore, you can see that there is some debris that is rolling along on the waves. You are seeing broken timbers. You're seeing parts of some broken crates, and it does unfortunately look like perhaps a ship was in distress. And these are the parts of the ship that are adrift.
Well, that would explain all the driftwood. That's not good.
Well, to be clear, what was on the shore was more natural. Like, it was branches, twigs, like maybe a fallen tree that fell in and kind of washed around.
I was about to say, like, I would have thought, like, if you would have told me this is from a ship, I'm pretty sure Jacob would have been on that. Like, is he really that derpy?
It wasn't, it couldn't be identified from that far out with that initial check, just that there was a patch of dark things. So, you're seeing some remnants, some wooden remnants, bobbing around. And there's more ahead of you. This is just the first big identifiable pieces that are coming into, like, maybe they're like, I don't know, 40, 50 feet away from you that you can see riding on the waves.
We need to go back in. Go back in, tell them what's going on. Because if that's out here, then it's very possible then whatever sunk it is still around.
It could have sunk by storm or mishap.
Possible.
You could search it, look for writing or look for identifiable marks or something.
The thing is, though, if it's here now, we would have seen a storm on the horizon. It was a very clear night.
Suppose depends on when ship crash.
Kazimir, do you want to go in and investigate? Selene is warranting caution, but what do you want to do, Kazimir?
Selene's thinking that they should go and grab the actual investigator to do the investigating.
Nah, that's lame.
Kazimir.
The investigator knows better than to end up wearing that much armor and then stepping onto water of any kind.
Well, you can't sink whilst underwater.
You say that.
No, I mean you can't, because if you submerge, you rise to the top 60 feet around. Like, that's the magic.
Kazimir wants to know this.
I'm just gonna let you know.
Magic.
All I'm gonna say is, I think me and Bright are on the same page when it comes down to this. Like, gears are probably windy in the same places.
Oh no, I just, I thought somebody should stay behind to protect the rear.
Yeah, she just didn't want to walk out in front of them, walk out across the water. But no, Selena's gonna head back, and she's like, I'm gonna go get the others. They kind of need to see this. It's not like it's really going anywhere, and we might be able to get a better look if we...
Kazimir will stay here then.
Alright, you stay here, I'll go back. And Selena's gonna walk back.
Okay. Sure. Selene, just at some point in time on the way back, go ahead and make another acrobatics as you're traversing now alone through that wave zone.
Definitely gonna... Don't want to fall in, because that would be bad. Don't want to fall over, because that'll hurt, actually. Just like falling on ground.
Okay. And a little bonus?
Yep, a little bonus. Just need to get my keyboard to cooperate.
15 plus 4, 19. All right. So yeah, you're practiced. Yeah, you got the shimmy in your hips, and you're doing a little hula dance over to the beach. You're looking pretty good there, Selene. All right, so Kazimir, are you standing here and letting stuff kind of slowly approach you, or are you striding further out to go to this big patch that's ahead of you?
We'll stride further.
Okay. Sure. Striding further, not a problem. You continue to do so, and there's now a lot of debris that is around you. A lot of things that are just broken pieces of wood from parts of a ship. Some things might be identifiable. I mean, it does seem like it's a ship, and not, I don't know, just someone like ditched all their cargo, and it's just like a bunch of crates. And so the ship that carried them is still out there. Though you are finding some broken barrels and some things along those lines that are very obvious to spot and identify. Go ahead and as you're walking in the midst of this stuff here, make me a perception and an investigation.
Perception.
Oh, okay. So that's a red 7.
Got some salt water in your eye.
Yeah, it's a.
It's not good.
And a 10 investigation. So yeah, Kazimir, you're out there, and you're searching around, and just maybe some spray, like 2 pieces of wood kind of slurp together, and some salt water kind of sprays up, and it's an interesting effect because your body is like so hydrophobic you can walk on it, but it's like kind of like an equivalent of getting sand in your eye, and just things are happening here. So back on shore, Selene, you're arriving onto shore as Kazimir is in the middle of this sort of pile of drifting debris here. What are you saying or doing? And really, this extends to anyone on the beach as well.
Yep. We've got ship bits out there.
Sure.
Is that important?
Yeah, kind of.
Why is he continuing to go toward it?
He's doing some further investigation, don't worry.
Alone in the middle of the ocean?
I mean, I did tell him to wait, but...
Hey, so, I mean, just little bits of ship doesn't... I mean, ships sink sometimes.
Yeah.
Bad, but
Yeah,
does it...
Yeah, but the thing is, there was no storm on the horizon.
Well, maybe it was pirates.
Could have been.
Well, if it was pirates, we might want to be careful then, because those pirates might come on land.
Maybe it was that ship that you came home on and then lost control of all of a sudden.
What?
That flew off towards Aslandia, I think.
Not to mention it was, covered in flesh. So,
You didn't say there wasn't flesh.
I mean, she's not wrong, Selene.
there wasn't flesh. I can tell you that there was.
Okay.
You can ask questions, Jacob. It's fine.
We have a lot of flesh. Follows us around.
You could say that, yeah!
Read the lines, cut the men.
Nothing
Oh,
to
don't
it
you
there.
start, Mordecai.
Oh, good. Out of all that, all of that, I only have one.
Mm-hmm.
Is this normal conversation amongst you and your
Yes.
compadres?
Welcome to Chroma Company.
I am sleeping with a dagger tonight.
You slept with one last night.
Again. Yes, because I didn't know you. Now I know I need to because now I'm getting to know you.
Welcome to Chroma Company.
Yep,
Weird
welcome
is
to
part of
Chroma
the
Company.
job.
Yeah. We've seen fae, we've seen dragons, we've seen flesh monsters, and
Do
we've
you see
seen
these tiny blue
vampires.
crystals in a small bag? I'm under the impression you all have.
No.
Do you mean Norlai?
You exposed that child to narcotics?
No.
No.
No, none of us are on narcotics.
As this
Okay, let's go.
conversation, as this conversation's happening,
You want to? I'm just gonna picture that it's not right now. As Bright ends up saying that, immediately grabs hold of Jacob's hand, starts dragging him off. Like I want to see this too. Like, what do you mean right now?
sure. So we're having this interaction on shore. Kazimir, you're over investigating. You get some water in your eyes or whatnot, and you know you're wiping it away. And beneath you, you see a lot of shadows moving, like underneath you towards the shore. No real details, but they're moving under the water.
That's a concern. That's a heckin'
Kazimir is
concern.
going to summon some reef sharks.
Okay.
Reef sharks are your path, so
Get for him.
four of them. And then tell them to investigate.
Okay. So
So last couple
Shadows,
of,
more shadows.
so,
So I know which ones these are.
so we had kind of a
Mhm.
rules error in a couple of sessions ago
Okay.
about conjuration, and I want to apologize because it was my fault and I didn't mean to do it.
okay.
But I realized it after the battle, and that is that some of the conjuration spells actually have a really long casting time, and I don't know if animals is one of the. Nope, animals is not one of those. So it's just my fault, not yours. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Okay. You've been a
Yeah,
very
you're
bad
talking
gnome,
about at the elementals, right?
but
Yeah.
you have to go to the boo box.
Oh.
All right. So, Kazimir, you are. Is that a one round for conjure then, or?
That's a one-round cast.
Okay. So the kind of antics on shore are taking place. Mordecai, you have a passive 25, right?
Yes, I
Okay. So even despite this, like, you know, you're in the conversation, you're very socially fluid, but, you know, your eyes flick over and you're watching. Kazimir makes kind of a verbal and somatic. Okay, yeah, somatic. So there's like a gesture of some kind. That's not like a whoa. You know, I'm tripping or falling, and these two sharks sort of just like manifest
Four.
by Kazimir's side, and
Four-
kind of like
four.
oh four. I'm
Four
sorry,
sharks.
4 sharks start to manifest through the magic, and as they're getting ready to splash down in the water, they almost seem to just evaporate before even hitting the water, and you see Kazimir just sort of do an almost cartoonish like look down and look up, and Kazimir falls into the water.
Okay.
Wait.
Well, shit.
How did he? Where did he go?
Did anybody else just get that message spell?
Kazimir Kazimir is let's see, we said it was I'll roll for it here. Oops.
Let me look up the weight of my scale armor.
Kazimier's about 210 feet from shore. Shore being the yellow line here.
I'm running out.
Wait.
45.
Something must have dragged him down.
I don't have to breathe. So I'm going.
That's good.
All right, if we're going to be taking perhaps precise rescue actions, I would ask each of you to roll an initiative, please.
Yes, I need to check a thing real.
So we have Mordecai's on a
Oh.
12, Kazimir is on a 9, Bright is on a 15. Wow, Investigator Jacob Stillwaters is on it like a
Ugh.
bonnet. and Selene is not on it.
Cleric initiative.
So Jacob's on a 25 and Celine's on a 3. And then I suppose that I need to roll a d20 so I can join the cool kids club. It was almost a 1. Now it just kind of looks like a 1, except a little longer. Okay, so I rolled and I have a number 2, except I don't have to tell you. Boop. All right, so we're gonna pick up initiative with Kazimir, just sort of like whoop, and just falls into the water, and we're starting with Jacob, and Bright, you are gonna be up after that.
Investigator of still waters. Having earlier made mention that such things could happen, and he didn't want to end up rusting the armor, is now going to need to rust the armor. So he is going to continue. He's going to head out, if I recall, we can do. Now, this is not difficult terrain so long as we're walking on it, correct?
It is difficult. It is difficult terrain because of the churning waves and stuff that's shifting underneath you.
10, 20. Okay, so I will move out 30 feet at this point and try and end up near the scene. Can I end up seeing Kazimir? Like, how far he's gone out? He's out pretty far, has fallen under. Kazimir was wearing a form of, well, no, a bone will float, so...
Yeah, so we're going to say that Kazimir, from this point right here in front of Bright, is 210 feet out from that green dot. Just like, boom, straight ahead, out 210 feet from that dot.
Now, to my understanding... We should have picked smaller opponent. No, but he's going to come out. Keep an eye down. I imagine right now it's only at most maybe like 4 feet, given the way you've described the surf.
Yeah, it's the water's shallow, but the waves are the things that are like churning and bashing and such.
Yeah, he's going to try and I'm struggling forward. As far as action, I am going full defense because I don't know what the hell's in the water, what the hell can try and end up taking me when this wonderful ability to walk on water is suddenly going to kick off. For all I know, there's an underwater variant beholder in there now.
Okay. We now have Bright. Bright, what are you doing?
I'll unmute myself, and then...
Good first step. Free action.
Yeah, okay. That's a tough question. I guess I will take the dash action, and I will try to move 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll get me through the difficult terrain.
Okay. Okay, that's it.
Do I have to make dex saves and things?
For this, if you are not trying to, I mean, if you're being sloppy with your movement, I'll ask for it. The initial narration was a little bit of fun, and also to introduce the map concept before it was applied mechanically to you all.
Okay.
Okay.
Then that's all I'm done.
Mordecai.
I can kind of guesstimate how far Kazimir was out, right?
Yeah, just a couple 100 feet. Perhaps slightly over 200.
So I'm gonna go that far and 60 feet down with Dimension Door.
Ooh.
Okay.
And I'm going to look for Kazimir.
Sure.
Within range, 500 feet.
No, I get that. I'm trying to already occupied by an object, creature, unit, any creature. So you're going 60 feet.
Based on his armor, I would imagine about 60 feet down, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, I'll tell you what. This is more going to be for... this isn't... Like, getting out there is not the problem. This is... I don't know offhand the angle or the depth out that far. And so I'm going to roll... I'm just going to roll a D10. And on a 8, 9, 10, you would have some that force damage. Because you would have, like, ricocheted off the bottom of the... Like, you would have tried to manifest at the bottom of the sea. And it would have shunted you up.
Okay.
Not an 8. All right, so you manifest, and you are underneath the waves. It was a good call. It was deep enough for you to not bounce.
Do I see him?
Let's see. That's the casting time's an action. Normally searching around would be an action.
I'm just glancing around. I'm not...
on the first initial glance, you do not see Kazimir. Though there still could be bubbles coming off of you. You could be facing the wrong direction or something along those lines. But when you manifest without spending time to look around, you don't see him immediately.
Do I shoot up because of water walk?
Oh. Yeah, I suppose that you would. Let's see. Spell grants ability to move across liquid surfaces as if it were harmless. Well, I don't see it in the least lethality your descriptor there, but
if you target a creature submerged in liquid, the spell carries the target to the surface of the liquid at a rate of 60 feet per round.
Oh.
So he would go straight up.
Okay.
I would go straight up if I only want to take me down.
Just realized that spell is now a one-hit kill. Just because of that trait. You just made that spell a one-hit kill. Oh god.
So all right, you manifest underwater in just like an explosion of bubbles as air is escaping, from underneath your clothing and all this. You're taking a quick look around. You don't see Kazimir. And then your body just goes and you shoot up. Like you're just rocketing. You're rocketing up, and
if I only went 60 feet down, I'd be at the surface of the water.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you only went 60 feet, so you're not facing any sort of explosive decompression or anything. Roll a d20, Mordecai.
D20.
Yeah, just roll a d20.
14.
14. Okay. You surge up, and you haven't. I don't know. You were 60 feet down, 60 feet up. I'll leave it up to you. Do you want your head to just breach? Not that you have to breathe. Do you want your head to breach the surface, or do you want to say that the 60 feet is like if we round a foot or two? Are you still just below the waves at the end of this round?
I want to stay under the water.
Okay, sure. So in this staggered pause time, you are just like a foot below the water.
Weight the scales.
12 for 10 cents. My goodness. 12 for 10. You have a... Oh, ha! I have a nice wizard hat and a staff. Heck yeah! Oh my goodness, I'm loving this. I don't know if you all can see that on the camera. 12 for 10. That is an amazing face mask. Thank you. I must be some kind of wizard. That was awesome. 12 for 10. You're gonna have to let me know. I mean, you could just tell me to weight the scales and you put your thumb on it, but I could just be a very greedy person and say that I will take all the fickle god's boons, because look, I got 5 PCs and they're all bullying me. They keep wanting to kill my monsters and win the game, and it's really dumb. And so yeah, just let me know. Even if you give me like a general direction, like spread it around, generally good for them, or spread it around like a mix, or you want to do one thing or another. If you want, I guess one really big thing to an extent, I could even do that. Kazimir, you are up now. Kazimir, you had summoned these sharks. Your spell went off, and right there. I know that they don't make dolphin noises, but like they were just getting like in a shark equivalent. So maybe they're going like do 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 do, and then they just dissolved in front of you. And in that moment, you just kerplunk, like you're in the you went into the water, and you didn't like sink like a stone per se. You dunked underneath like you would be jumping off the edge of a pool. So you're starting underwater this round. What would you like to do? Is you are just like you're a couple feet below the water because you sort of splashed in.
Did I just fall, or was I pulled?
You, as far as you know, you fell. Like the magic just. I don't. Maybe Selene made a mistake, or it's this wild magic or something that was causing the fire to turn blue or to turn cold. But the water walking ability just stopped.
I will try to swim back up.
Sure. Okay. Make an athletics. Okay. Bloop bloop bloop. Kazimir, your head breaches the top of the water. You can breathe once more. There are barrels and stuff kind of churning around you that could possibly bonk you depending on what happens, or if you wanted to like cling to one or something. You have a lot of debris that we're going to use in the theater of our minds.
Yeah, I will go to the nearest thing of debris.
Okay. Are you looking for like something to cling onto that's small, or are you looking for like an oversized door that could clearly hold at least 2 people, but you only put your girlfriend on it?
Whatever is nearest.
Okay.
Nearest that will keep me afloat with armor.
Sure. Tell you what, do you want highs or lows? I'll pull a Derek.
Lows.
Lows? Alright, roll a d20. Alright. There is a kind of like a small barrel that is like, so you can cling on to it. It's like just like a 5-gallon barrel, just like a little thing. So it'll keep you afloat, but you can't stand on it or surf on it or anything along those lines.
That's fine.
Okay, so that's your movement. What else?
Do I still have action?
You have an action. You used your movement, your athletics, to swim up like just a couple feet. You could doggy paddle or not, like you could use this thing to aid you in swimming if you want, because you'll still stay afloat. We'll say 5 feet of movement was consumed with you arriving back above the waves.
Okay. I will try to go back to shore then.
Okay. Sure. I don't even need an athletics in this case. You're clinging onto at least a small flotation device. So sploosh, 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 sploosh. You're kicking in the water, and so you want to use your action to dash.
Yeah.
Okay, and you don't have a swim speed, correct?
No.
Okay, so you were 210. I will be nice, and I will round it to say that if you're double moving here, that you are now 180 feet from the green dot. 180 feet from the green dot. Okay.
What is
Let's
Skill?
see.
Check.
I think at this point, I'm just struggling in. Okay, yeah. Correct me if I'm, or correct me here, but Selene is holding her action technically.
No, she's last in the order.
Selene
Yeah,
hasn't even
Selene
gone.
is last.
Okay.
Yeah, she rolled a 3, and I'm considering my options here. All right.
Okay. Like. Okay. Awkward silence.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I should have said something there. No,
No,
I was
it's okay.
I was
thought it
looking
was like,
at what I would
did
like
I
to
miss
do.
my
here.
prop?
All right. We have all of you on shore can see that Kazimir is starting to paddle back. And
How far is he from me?
so the green dot here, like this box, or I guess like the edge of this box anyway, what it was 210, so she's 180 feet from this box. And so you are 10 feet ahead, so she's 170. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Hang on. That's your
No, I
shot.
dimension doored over there.
No,
I'm
yeah.
over there.
Okay, so you went out. You're just below. She would be. I'm sorry. I was thinking as Dark Wolf, not as Kazimir. You're hearing some splooshing kind of going on. Everything's churning, though. We'll ascribe it to random luck, and I'll do another high-low for you here, Mordecai, to see if you're like twisting or amid all the noise and bubbles and foam and froth, if you can still see Kazimir here. So do you want high or low, and then roll a d20?
I'm going high.
Okay. Unfortunately, Kazimir isn't in front of you or within view or sound, because while Kazimir's paddling, there's all these things that are clanking together, and it's just not. So it's hard to judge distance because Kazimir's not in sight with all the distractions. All right, the rest of you see a very large mouth rises from the water behind Kazimir and is rushing forward, and wow. So Kazimir, you are paddling along. Everyone here sees this mouth rise behind you, and it's catching up. And just as it's about to bite, and you're oblivious, a piece of debris just smacks into this thing that was chasing you, and it seems to disappear back under the water. You know, just as you like look behind you, there's nothing.
I was right there.
You were.
Oh no.
And what because of this movement, especially like I'm gonna say, Mordecai, that this isn't something that necessarily you'd get lost in because this is sound or sight based. You feel a current swoosh by you, and it sort of like spins you around in the water, and you see this shape that is now that you're facing, because you're sort of drawn in the direction from the current, and you're seeing this kind of how versed are you in nature?
I have a +3.
Okay. It's a jack of all trades for you, huh? Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll it. Let's. Okay.
Average.
Something big in the water, but it doesn't have the silhouette of a shark, swooshes past you. It does have like long dangles off of it. But this is something bigger than, you know.
Oh no.
Okay, Selene, we're down to you.
Okie
You're the last hope.
So, seeing all of that, I am now very concerned for my magic. And she has a working theory as to what's going on. I'm not going to mention it at the moment. So, what I'm going to do, see what I've got access to here.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to do is I am going to actually, there's not actually a lot that I can do at the moment.
Okay, you could prepare an action, if you wish. You could just take a defensive stance in case of, surprise.
I'll ready a spell
Okay.
so that if I see that big thing again come up, I'm gonna use something to hit it.
Okay. What were you preparing? I'm sorry.
What I'm going to do is I am going to ready a guiding bolt.
Okay. Guiding bolt at, like, the first gribbler that, emerges from the water?
If there are gribblers in the water, then yeah.
Sure. Well, something's going on. Alright. So, you have that. We now have... let me find some here. We now have something happening at the super last end of... at the super last end here. And I think, yeah. These will work. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight.
Alright.
All right, those are purple ones. There are also green ones that are popping up.
This is nothing the size of the one that we just saw trying
Correct.
to eat.
All right, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here. What you are seeing, those who are closer to shore, is up and down the little bit of the beach. You are seeing these very large jellyfish starting to blob up to the surface of the water, and as you see them start to blob up, there are some that just look gelatinous and with a bunch of tendrils. There are others that look like they have people inside them. And that is their turn. That being said, Selene, if you count an overly large jellyfish, perhaps a man-o-war that you've experienced in session 1.
I remember it.
You had a prepared action if you want to zap one.
I did. I am going to. I am going to. Let's make a roll to hit.
Okay. Which one were you targeting?
I'll target one that's about 120 feet out. So I imagine that would be probably one of those ones.
Okay. Sure.
Probably that one. Make that one there.
Okay, so this one has a person in it, and you're targeting that one. All right. Let's add a. What should we add? Something that's visible. So probably a bright yellow dot. That's not visible. It's a red dot. Okay. So your attack streaks out over the waves and impacts this this large tendrily creature, and just absolutely like splorshes a portion of it. And well, it's already kind of made a jelly, but you double made sure that was the case. And the creature that was inside of it kind of just like bloop goes into the water and is floating there.
Oh, there's a person in there. Or a thing in there. Shall I roll damage?
Not necessary.
Alright.
Okay. Jacob, we're back up to you.
All right. I really don't like this. I do not like this, not at all. And yet, can't allow Kazimir to drown. So I am going to use my difficult to end up gain up to here. So I imagine here it's deep enough that it's above my head, can't stand in the water if what I do, or this blessing suddenly gets dispelled. So
yeah, so what, you're 6 something?
yeah, this, if I recall, I had to bring Jacob's official height in 5'6", actually.
5'6". If I would say then that far out from that solid blue line, if the magic ended, you'd be over your head. If you go back 5 feet, I'd give it to you. As you're just on the cusp.
I need to get to Kazimir.
Okay.
I am going to actually I'm going to purposely move 5 feet this way on the bed. So ultimately, Jacob is trying to keep between himself keep himself between this tide of whatever these are, and try and get close to Kazimir to try and assist him and end up getting Mr. Ashiro Drizzle to shore.
Okay. Bright.
Hi.
Full
Okay.
defensive action, I might add.
I'm sorry. Did I skip over something you were doing, or?
No. It was just I realized that I didn't actually have or declare an action. I just declared movement. So I'm going to end up saying full defensive.
Okay, right.
Okay. Yeah. So, that's interesting. So, what about me? Am I in over my head if I fall in the water?
You're 3 feet?
Yes.
Yeah.
4 inches.
I would say if your magic ended, I'd say this square. If you move back 2 squares, this would be
Squares?
safe for you.
That's about where I was gonna go anyway.
Okay.
So I'll go there.
Sure.
And I guess the thing. So, did I see the person that was in this one fall in the water?
Yeah. Just whoever was enveloped in this gelatinous creature just sort of is like bobbing on the surface.
Do they look alive or dead?
It's impossible to tell at this point.
Okay. Can I see if there are people in any of these? Or any of them in general?
Yes. So the purple mushrooms, or mushroom-looking things, are ones that have people inside them. The green ones do not. They're just hollow, or they're en route. Hopefully to fix that problem they have.
Okay. We'll deal with that next round. This round, no, the usual. And I will put it, I will put it right there.
Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5. We got 6 of them in the target. I guess I'll just start with top row, purple, green, green, purple, purple, green, going down. And then they're... With them bobbing in the water, this would... We did this before when you were targeting someone. It was advantage on the save, I think is what we did.
If I recall, because technically it would qualify as cover, it would give them +2 to their dex.
Well, that's for armor class. I don't know. I mean, if they're actually under the water, because we did this with Peggy Sue.
Okay.
Because she was a frog and she was actually swimming under the water. If they're actually under the water, then I want to do something else. But if they're like poking out on the surface,
they're like
I can hit them.
Like parts of them are blobbing on the surface, but they're not completely revealed. They're just immersed in water, like mostly immersed in water.
If that's the ruling we're going with, then that's the rule we're going with.
Well, I want to make sure that we're
fine.
consistent from when there was the fight with Bambardelus in the river.
No, that's understandable.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember what we did then.
It's just
but
recently. Go ahead.
Yeah, advantage on the save is fine because
Okay.
these guys aren't. So.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll 4d20, and we're gonna take the two. We're gonna roll for the top two, and the first two numbers are for purple. The second two numbers are going to be for green. So 17 and 12, and then either a 1 or a 13. And the number I'm looking for is a 16. All right. So purple's going to save, and what we could say is something like, it just like as the waves are churning and going up and down, it sort of like bloops underwater right as your fireball sort of cascades over the top of it, like that one part in what was that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? No, not Total Recall. No wonder he's a spy. That's Jamie Lee Curtis. Anyway.
True Lies.
True Lies.
Yeah, that's
Thank
True
you.
Lies.
Yeah, there we go. Except they're not going to have a romantic kiss because they're jellyfish. And also you evaporated one of them. So the green one is sort of like is the opposite. Instead of blooping underneath the water just in time, it almost like the wave is like on the down, and it's just like exposed for a moment right as your flames absolutely destroy this thing and boom, roll over it. Next row. All right. The flames roll over the one in the back, and this one here, the jelly just sort of flies off and burns away, leaving a bobbing body where once there was a jellyfish in a body. And the last row. Okay. So we have once more a full jellyfish is now a no jellyfish, and this one is destroyed as flames roll over the water. Okay. And then there's like this steaming patch just like coming off the top of the rolling cold ocean waves here. Okay. Anything else, Bright?
Well, I guess I'll take one more step back because I have one more move.
Okay.
And that's all. So I'll just tell everyone, casting spells on the water doesn't make you fall in them. It must be the big monster.
Mordecai, you're not around to hear this, but we're on to you, Mordecai.
Okay, so
Kazimir after.
I'm going to break the surface. Do I see Kazimir?
Yes, now that you've broken the surface and you're in the general direction, you see Kazimir, like right as Kazimier's looking back and saw that there was nothing chasing after him, feeling confident and full of pomp and circumstance, he's paddling on this little barrel towards the shore.
About how far away is he from me?
We'll say Kazimir at this point is 15 feet away from you.
Okay, so if Waterwalk shoots me up to standing on the surface, I can get to him, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kazimier's like paddling not up, like beyond you. Kazimier's moving horizontally, you're moving vertically.
I am at the surface.
Yes.
when at the last round, I'm breaking the surface,
Yes.
potentially on the surface.
Yeah, you'd be
water
on.
walk.
Yeah, no, you
I
would be
can
on the
run to
surface.
him 15 feet, right?
Okay. I thought you... Okay. Never... That was... I thought you meant like, ooh, I'm popping up here and he's been... Yeah, because he's been moving horizontally. Yeah, so yeah. You pop up. So that takes whatever... really nothing, because it's the forced
Nothing, because I
movement.
was already there.
So, alright,
Yeah.
you just... Boo! The... Ascending at that... I'll tell you what, make an acrobatics. Because you're sort of shot up above the surface of the water. Okay. You do a flourish. I don't know. Describe it. You breach the water like a dolphin or something. What are you doing?
It's very graceful like an acrobat. He's been a circus trained.
Go for the acrobatics.
All right. Oh, Coffee.
Dance.
Did your camera derp?
Oh,
Coffee
he
Cat?
derped.
He died.
Oh
Mordecai
no.
died.
He derped very
But,
hard.
but look, at least he died with a smile on his face.
Yeah, it's very peaceful. Oh. We'll have to.
Give it a bit.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's an ISP rollover or something since it's. Well, anyway.
Tis
So.
that time.
He is going to breach the surface, land on the water with a fantastic flourish. Water just flees from him because of this water walk ability. And I guess he's going to approach Kazimir, who's paddling, and we'll see what happens. Especially because Kazimir's supposed to go next, and the two people that would be interacting. One who's waiting on the other one. No, Coffee Cat, how could you betray us? 12 for 10, I'm sorry. I can't clap my hands as a DM and have a fickle god fix an ISP issue. Believe me, we try. We pay our internet service providers and they continually fail us.
Give it a moment.
That's right. Actually, I didn't even see did Coffee even drop out of the chat?
He's typing at them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we could always come back to him in initiative order.
Yeah. Whole internet derped. I'm.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
Dimension Dooring,
so
Kazimir
Coffee
away
is-
to the shore. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So. So Kazimir, you're paddling and paddling. Mordecai just walks up beside you, on top of the water, kind of looks down at you. Would you like to say anything in this moment, in this exchange?
Hello, friend. Your Selene's magic seems to have failed me.
Take my hand.
Don't know how. Don't know how. Don't know how that happened. Have an
And
idea.
would you like to keep the barrel or not?
Sure.
All right.
Who knows what's inside?
So we have Mordecai and Kazimir just appear on shore. Kazimir, you're still clutching your floating like your small 5-gallon keg of mystery, and
Set it down.
and so unless Coffee says otherwise, that will be Mordecai's turn. Keeping us an open mind in case there was something else. But Kazimir, you're on shore. That was kind of the big mechanical change. How would you like to respond or act, or what would you like to do here?
Alright. Well, I'm not running back into water, so I'm going to pull out the longbow.
Okay. Okay, drop the barrel. Pull out the longbow.
Yep. Does that
Alright.
take action?
And anything else?
Can I shoot, or was that action?
Longbows require loading, I think, so
Yep.
you would have had your item interaction, if not from dropping the barrel, then from drawing your longbow. So it can be ready.
Longbows don't have the loading property
yeah,
that's
Yeah,
crossbows.
longbows don't have.
Okay. Oh, never mind then. Sure, Kazimir.
Yeah.
You
I will shoot nearest one.
Because an
There's
action.
green one. This green one.
An action to draw a weapon.
Green one? Okay. Right. 24. Sure. You, even though like a little wave crests up in front of it, your arrow just pierces through it, and when the wave diminishes, you see that this jellyfish thing is starting to like flatten out and just sort of blob along the water in a non-controlled fashion. It is an out-of-control jellyfish.
No need for damage.
Nope.
Sounds good.
All right.
Let this turn then.
Okay. We are now going to go to Selene.
Yes. Yes, it is my turn. Alright, so what is a sphere? Cool. So, I actually just realized something.
Mm-hmm.
Through the stuff that we've found, I actually have a very particular costed component that is in my inventory at this very moment. From the stuff that we have collected. And as such, I'm actually going to use it. And I am going to cast Dawn.
Okay.
And what I will do is I will center it right here. So everything, it's a 30-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder of bright light.
The light is sunlight. Each creature must... Alright, can you draw a circle where you're putting this thing?
I can draw a circle, yes. Give me 1 second.
Or a square. I mean, that's... We're working with squared circles, but whatever. Just let me know what... how many of these things gotta make a roll of some kind.
Yep, I can actually make it a circle. So,
Ends its turn.
Ignore that. Just trying to shift. It's 15, 20, 5, 30. The big one.
Okay. All right. So I have some Constitution saving throws to make as a this cylinder of dawn's light appears.
Yep. For flavor, at the very top of the cylinder, one of Selene's angels of death will appear to project the cylinder from upwards down upon them.
Sure.
That's just flavor stuff.
I'm going to roll 5d20, and I'm just going to go from the top purple down every row that there is one.
Yep, alright. Sounds good.
All right. So I have top purple saves. Next green down is going to get zapped.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it'll be half. So they'll be taking 13 if they save, 27 if...
Save. And then the this one fails, and so you zap that one, and then this one, the jelly kind of evaporates and leaves a bobbing figure in the waves. Okay. Anything else, Selene?
Yeah, I'm just gonna very quickly move off the seat. And for my object interaction, I'm gonna pull out my light.
Okay. Routine maintenance. Okay. Yeah, I hate it when that happens, Coffee. All right, but still, hey, if you're with us in chat, we can still roll for you. Have your character sheet open off screen, and so I can push buttons for you. I will be your AI. All right. And now we start having some of these things kind of blorp and blop along. as they are... this one is getting irradiated. It probably doesn't want to do that. So... technically, that would still be in the square. So it'll move back, but it'll move up. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the bodies that are floating in the water, in a very unnatural flailing fashion, also begin to move forward. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But they're obviously not as aquatically adept as the jellyfish are. Okay. They look like humanoid bodies that are sort of like blurping and slurping around in the water. Very ungraceful. Just sort of like flop, flop in a very basic movement. We now come back up to Jakob.
Well,
Question.
go ahead.
Just because I just realized something. So it was the creature's turn, yes?
Yes.
After me. Those that ended their turn in the cylinder.
None of them
Oh,
did.
you already did.
They fled.
They all fled?
Yeah,
Right.
the light of day drove them from that area.
Okay, cool. That's all I needed to ask.
Yep. Jakob?
Yeah.
Jacob, see if you can rescue any of the people that fell out.
Hey, welcome back.
I might be back. We'll see.
We'll see.
No. All right. So slide back with the googly humanoid oozy tentacle thing that is before me, a jellyfish made to walk as a man, if I understand what I'm seeing correctly. And to be fair, I don't know what I've been seeing ever since I ended up running into this company of crow.
Yes, and the one rolled up on you, but it doesn't seem to be attacking, but the creature inside of it, if not the jellyfish itself, kind of like, it's not like caressing you, but it's on you, and it seems to be like gauging you, sensing you, like especially the creature within the jellyfish, that it's sort of like wrapped around and whatnot. It's just floating there in front of you.
They will attempt to consume you, Jacob. Be careful.
Well, I am... And when I end up looking into this, the individual inside this, is this, can I make out, like, distinct features, or is it just vaguely humanoid shape?
If you want to spend an action to perceive, then I would allow you to make out features. Otherwise, it's humanoid, but its features are obscured by kind of a rippling, watery, gelatinous entity.
I made my choice.
Okay. All right. There is there's a woman inside. Like as you're really you're taking a little bit extra time to extra scrutinize this thing, as it's just sort of like there blobbing in front of you. And there is a moment where you're looking through this gelatinous carapace, or like this covering, and the thing inside, it's sort of like sluggish, hollow eyes, sort of like gaze up, and there is a it extends its arms that also have these like jellyfish tendrils around it as well, and kind of like lunges forward, almost for like a headbutt or something along those lines. But you see, as it does, when this woman opens her mouth, she has very noticeable fangs inside, and there's, in the back of your mind, Jacob, there's a voice that is a feminine voice, and one that you heard not all that too long ago, and it simply says, "Prepare." And that voice leaves as this thing kind of like lurches and seemingly tries to attack you, but it just kind of like bounces off of you because its head is encased in this sort of like jellyfish body. But the woman inside, I don't know, she's got some pretty bestial teeth going on in that face of hers.
And I did make mention of vampires earlier. So, with that, I think I will purposely bait its reaction and take a 30-foot step backwards. So it may make its attack of opportunity if it so wishes. Seems to be struggling though.
Okay.
Ooh, that'll do it.
And so, it, as you go to move back, it like catches your arm, and the face for a moment, like tears like just enough away out of this thing, and this woman's like, her already all like, maybe it's the effects of being in this thing, or she's being changed or slowly digested or just sort of corrupted in some fashion. But as she's straining against the tendrils of the jellyfish, and she ends up biting you.
Alright.
Take 6 points of damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
No con saves. No con saves. He's gonna roll an 18.
25.
All right. So.
Diviners for the win, man.
All right.
Diviners for the win.
Her bite tears across your skin, Jacob, and there's just this. There's this moment where things just sort of like almost get like a doubled, like a cross-eyed effect, and for the split second, there's like one where the fangs sink in, and there's this other one where they just sort of scrape along and tear instead of like really getting purchased. And in that weird double vision, the one that clarifies is that the fangs just scrape across your skin.
Who knew that could bite through armor?
Okay. Anything else from you, Jacob?
Nothing I care to end up doing. Right now, I want to drag this closer to shore where I can actually defend myself properly without having to worry about this whole water walking thing going here kaput. But that one in particular, I'd like to drag to shore. I want some answers.
Okay. We now come down to Bright.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay, so things are getting a little more serious. So everybody watch out for the vampires. And then also, cast some... Oh, I don't have that spell. That's unfortunate. Why don't I have that spell? I always prepare that spell. Okay, never mind. So which ones have died? Because I'm losing track of which ones have died.
Ones that are no longer here?
Yeah. No. the dots mark ones that have been damaged.
The dots are ones that are they're bodies that used to be inside a jellyfish, but now they're just bodies because the jellyfish was burnt away or destroyed in some fashion.
Okay, so dots are floating bodies. On the map is alive, and anyone that's just dead and gone is dead and gone.
Yes.
Too bad then. That's the thing to do, and I don't really want to because it's not a very good. Have any of the bodies appeared to move since floating?
Yes, they've been kind of like weakly, like splashing and making some progress with the waves up to the shore.
Okay, so in that case, things are a little more serious. So I'm gonna go ahead and light another one of these. Oh, please. Take out those 3.
Okay.
Then up the back ranks, I want this one.
All right. So I am going to. I guess I'm just going to roll 60, 20. And we're going to go green, purple, green on the bottom. And so that's going to be. That's a 16. Pass, fail, pass. So this is a pass. On a fail, this purple one gets burnt away, and so there's just a bobbing body, and the other one passed as well. So unfortunately, the fireball must have gone off like right in like the trough of water, and then like it crashed over as you caught the one, in the rubbery gelatinous flesh burnt away, and then there's just like this body kind of floating where the jellyfish used to possess it or whatever.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares to there.
Okay. All right.
I'm not prepared to stand in the front today. I'm really sorry for not being as brave as usual.
It's quite all right, Bright.
Okay, I'm done.
In talking with 12 for 10 cents here, each of you are going to get a floating advantage on something for this session. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. But you all have each of you have a floating advantage on whatever.
Oh, I know where I'm saving that one.
I know what I'm gonna be.
So,
Especially,
Mordecai, we're over to you.
All right.
So, I mean, the session is over in 8 minutes.
Yes.
So I am going
Use them where you
to
get.
be actually doing a guiding bolt on that guy. Let's do that.
Well, all right. So in this case, I'll tell you what this is because we're gonna have to end at 3 here for lethality. I'll tell you what. I would be willing to float it into next session as well, because it is kind of coming in late and it hasn't been invoked, and also 12 for 10 was rather generous with granting that. So if you would it just be easier if we say you don't have it till the beginning of next session, and then that way next session you know, because combat will most likely not be over in 8 minutes, and we'll pause the game. Is that all right?
Cool. That's fine.
Okay.
I don't care. Okay.
Mordecai, you're guiding bolting. I'm sorry, which one? I didn't see your tag.
That one right there.
Okay. That will definitely hit.
Oh, that's Jacob's.
And
What?
Mordecai doesn't care.
your guiding bolt impacts, and I'm still gonna say though, even though like the monster's jellyfish was just absolutely destroyed by your spell, that the effect of the guiding bolt still exists on this woman who's just sort of like bobbing and like kind of weakly flailing in the water.
Okay.
Alright.
And then I'm going to inspire Jacob. With a little bit of a song. I don't have one prepared right now, but Mordecai sings at you.
All right, allow me to help you with that one, Coffee Cat. In the Garden of Eden, baby.
Kazimir, what are you doing?
I'll take it. That's fair.
So yeah, you're inspired.
Kazimir?
Well, I will just shoot at the. Let's see. This one here.
Okay. You knock an arrow. You let it fly. Poof. And this thing just absolutely, like you even like do a like almost like you're skipping a stone here. Like it just sort of like spanks off the top of two waves and then just like goes into a tumble to like tear into this jellyfish, and the jellyfish like uncoils around a person who's now floating in the water. Okay.
I'm even better with battle axe. And that's it.
All right. That happens. And so now we're over to Selene.
Okay, so I am going to move Dawn with my bonus action
Okay.
over to here. So basically, the angel stops shining the beam on them, flies over a little bit, and then goes poof,
Yep.
and the beam is.
Those are
I will
con.
just do that slightly. Yes, it is a Constitution save. I will pop the thing up.
Okay.
They're both gonna pass and take 6 radiant damage each. Ow! I thought that was gonna be better.
Water is just like is like sending all sorts of sparkly sunshine and rainbows up off of this beam of daylight that's refracting through the waves. It's making an awesome light effect. However, these jellyfish holding people seem to like either dunk out of the way or just they're not giving up the goods that are inside of them. Anything else from you, Selene?
Yes, as an action, I'm going to shoot this one with a light crossbow.
Pew.
Chikunk.
Okay, and your light crossbow catches in some tendrils that rip aside, kind of swirling the jellyfish around, and bloop, 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 bloop. It leaves a person in the water.
Yep. I'm still roll damage because I'm interested. It would have been 12.
Okay, no problem. Okay, it's my little doodad's turn, and then what we can do is after this round, because that's the end of round 3, we can pause here, and then when we pick up tomorrow, you all want to play tomorrow? When we pick up,
I'm okay with that.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
no, when we pick up on Tuesday, we will be at the top of round 3, or I'm sorry, 4, I should say.
Jacob,
All right.
mark somewhere on your sheet that you have an inspiration from me, because
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna
Never
forget.
Never forget it.
Yeah.
Spikuda.
On the
That's here.
Yeah. On a
That's
completely
1, 2.
unrelated plug, I just found out that Sabaton has a history channel now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's actually good. Like, that actually makes me happy.
I will link accordingly.
Of course, they're running away from the light of day, but it is okay, for my angel will move near them and burn some more.
Jacob, your girlfriend is swimming up to you.
Oh. She wants the hugs.
She does. She wants to hug you with her teeth, and she does with
Of
a
course she
20.
does.
No.
So she's kind of
Why?
coming up, and then you're prepared, and like a wave like carries her up, and she carries up. She's above you, and then just comes down. Ah! And she gets a good bite in a good tender area.
You want to know what's her to hit? What does she technically hit? Yeah.
Yeah, no, she does. Oof. She really wanted to give you a hug.
Yeah, don't make a con save though.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're
well-
taking the piercing damage, but instead of or I guess we can say it's slashing in this case because but bludgeoning, piercing, and all that doesn't really necessarily have a huge difference.
Fair enough.
Okay, so once more, reality seems to split for a moment, Bright.
Yeah, he's gonna have a 14 on the die.
Okay, so that's
That'll bring it to a 21.
oh, you just like squeeze your neck muscles and like her fangs just pop out. Just it's like when a mosquito lands on you and you like flex to tighten the proboscis in your arm. You just explode the mosquito as it's sucking blood out of you. You're like, you want blood? I'll give you.
You wanna know what? I've only succeeded at doing that once.
Once is a lot more than other people. Like, did you clench or did you like squeeze it on the?
Actually, it was more of a rotation.
And you got it trapped.
Yeah, once you did that, then it's just bring up your blood pressure.
So unfortunately, in this case, you're not giving her blood feedback here, but you have this moment where her fangs, like you swore the fangs sank into you in a nice, tender, juicy bit. However, maybe because the wave rolled back in time or something, it just left a nasty scratch on your body instead of like plunging into you.
Ow.
Okay.
Can't deny the girl her 20.
Aha, I have two empty jellyfish remaining. Haha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, they're not going to do anything to you this round, but I got 2 waiting for y'all. Now that they are this close, and also a lot of the jelly has been blown away from them, is kind of washing and sluicing off and all this. Mordecai, I'm giving this to you both because you're the perception boy, and this would also be very relevant to you. You are seeing on a couple of these people that are kind of like kind of blorping and swimming along, Shadowhard naval uniforms. Now, not all of them. Like some of them just look like they're regular like sailing crew, like it's just comfortable stuff to wear. Dark clothing doesn't necessarily necessitate anything, but you are seeing a couple of the people who are sloshing around are wearing
Current or old?
Current.
Current.
Yes.
Isn't that lovely?
I will indicate that with a. I'll indicate that. We'll put a. We'll go next to. Is that really purple?
Not delete choose.
Maybe.
There we go.
I'm spending more time choosing an icon here and really just. Those aren't really big.
There you go.
There
Die. Going to
Make it
die.
pink.
I'm good.
And we'll make this one pink here. So you're seeing 2 Shadowhard naval uniforms. The others could be, but it's more like just generic, like deckhand, like comfortable sailing wear that anyone could wear.
Can I call that out?
Sure.
Okay. I'll make everybody aware.
And
Oh, busy getting up to my notes right now.
I'm being bitten right now. Please reveal information at a more convenient time, Mr. Silverleaf. Please contain your observations. All right. So we are going to we're going to leave off here as it's 3:03 a.m. I've technically made Lethality Complex late.
That's alright.
Though, to give one more shout out to you and the others over at the Gathering of Nerds, you are doing a one-shot tonight. It's level 5?
Yes, level 5, but the prompt is fear.
Fear. And who's running it this week?
It is Emma running it this week.
Emma, okay. Very good. So go ahead and go do the thing you need to do to set that up. And
yes, because I have a bunch of stuff that I need
leave
to do
us
for that.
leave us to ponder what is happening here.
Yes, they're. All I can tell you is that next session they're going to die.
Bum bum bum.
The glorious display of light.
We still don't know what creature is in ocean.
Yeah. Weird, huh?
Kazimir doesn't even know it's there.
Yeah. Weird, isn't it?
So I need to get running, and I will see you guys next week if I don't see you in an hour.
Yep, and make sure you
Goodbye.
make a note that we will float for the next session a floating temporary advantage.
One advantage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I've marked it as inspiration on my character sheet.
I've also marked it. I mean, we
Yeah,
do also still
as
have
long
that
as you
floating
understand it's like a
inspiration.
floating one, like it'll disappear at the end of next session just due to the
I'm
timing
just
of things.
marking it that way so I don't forget.
Sure, that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you already used yours more. You already used yours, so you can
Yeah.
do that. But no. All right. I need to get running, so I will see if
Bye.
I don't see you guys in about an hour. See you guys.
Yep. See it.
Okay, bye, Knuckles.
I should sleep.